And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs. I have just finished almost all of the setup for a game of Mage Knight. Let's get oriented to the table. The way I set things up, again, you have your fame and reputation tracks over here. We have the skills of Krang. I am doing a Volkare's Return scenario with the character of Krang. He was, I believe, the last expansion in the Mage Knight board game universe. He's got a very interesting set of skills and is pretty fun to play. So we'll see how we can do with the challenge in front of us today. So again, we have Krang skills and then the skills of a random hero that is not in the game, and I randomized and ended up with the skills of Tovak. So while we got crushed the last time I tried this on this channel as Tovak, hopefully Tovak's skills will get some revenge today. Here is our source, again in a Volkare's Return scenario as per the rules of the Lost Legion expansion. Volkare actually counts as a player, so it's real players +3, or you plus Volkare, who again counts as a player +2 when determining the number of dice in the source, as well as a number of units in the unit offer. So there's a little bit more variety. You see more units every game, and then the source tends to be, it's less likely it's going to be utterly useless for you, and trust me, you will need it. So I had a really good roll. I got a gold, a blue, a green, and a white. So that should serve me well as I try to get started. We have our regular units. Again, they are sleeved in blue sleeves. We have our elite units, which are sleeved in green sleeves, and then we have Krang's D deck. Over here, we have Volkare's deck. Now, Volkare's deck, unlike in Solo Conquest, nothing's ever added to it. This is his deck. There are 18 wounds in here because I'm doing this on the lowest recommended level for the race aspect. Again, there's two different gradients that you can, I don't know if it's the right word, but two different spectrums that you can kind of try to set the difficulty of this on. One is how much time you have to get to accomplish the mission, and the other one is how difficult you want the mission to be in terms of the level of the city or Volkare's Legion that you are, willing to combat against. So I'm going on the second recommended level for the level of the Legion. So that is a level 8 that can be added to based on the indecisive unit. You'll see that there is a blue mana on the thugs, which are in the unit offer, and we'll come back to that as we go. But there is 1 city garrison, 2 Draconum, a keep, and 2 orcs, which I have already assembled. I will pile them on top of Volkare's little token here and put a mana die on there, which we will have to roll whenever we pull a wound out of his deck. His deck is comprised of 18 wounds, the 4 cooperative skills, and we'll explain what those mean as they come up, and then the 16 skills of any basic skill cards of any one of the other heroes that's not in the game. So 4 of each color, 4 white, 4 blue, 4 green, 4 red, and you will notice that these are, those of you with very good eyesight will notice these are, I have actually Norawas's skill deck in here because I just haven't deconstructed Volkare's deck from a previous game that I played off camera. Actually, kind of wish I filmed that game. It was very interesting. Ended up with 4 keeps and the White City. So I was drawing 10 cards by the end of that game, and it was a pretty cool victory for Arethia. But did not film that. Arethia was my last video on this site, so I figured I would not film that one. And now we have Krang. So hopefully we'll have something equally as interesting. And that's the thing about this game that I love, is that every time it just feels different. Every time you play it in a way that I don't think most games can even come close to just how true that statement is. All right, we have our terrain deck. Remember, there are 7 countryside tiles in total that are added to, again, this is the portal tile. Then we have Volkare's camp tile. I got to put an orc on there actually for thematic reasons, if nothing else. And then you take 7 of the green countryside tiles. 2 of them are going to start on the board. We will flip them before we play. And then there is 1 core non-city tile, and then the bottom of this is a core city tile that is always there. So what we need to do is get through this deck. We need to get to that core city tile. We need to seize that city, and then we need to beef ourselves up and be ready for when Volkare arrives so we can kill him before he sacks the city and assumingly chops our heads off and hangs us over the gates. I don't know, whatever Volkare would do in that situation, that's what he does. We have our wound deck here. We have our little cheat sheet to help us with the movement as we pull the different cards. Volkare's movement across the terrain as it develops. And we have our artifact deck here, which I put a little stone on just as a reminder that I shouldn't pull that for anything but artifacts. The spell offer, we're starting out with Restoration, which is a big healing card, allows you to ready units. Probably not a card I'm going to be going for, although it is fairly good. It's just not going to be the most helpful thing for me right now. Offering will be a really great way to get a lot of crystals in our hand. And then Mana Bolt is a attack card, and depending on what other crystal you spend, you can get some very nice attacks out of it. But again, how many crystals are you going to have? So if you can get some good crystal cards, that can be a really good one to have as well. Maximal effect, you can throw away a card and do it twice. It's probably too early to take that card. Not really sure I want to thin my deck that much. Into the Heat, if we get a lot of units, can be a really helpful card. But the card I'm really looking at here is probably going to be this dual color white and red explosive bolt. Is probably the first skill I see myself taking in this game today. Over here in the unit offer, again, we have thugs. They are indecisive. I'll explain what that means as we go. We have peasants, we have our guardian golems, and we have our herbalists. Since we are playing on the heroic setting, again, Volkare's Legion is at level 8, and the city level, the city that we will have to destroy, is a level 6. The way I play this game, I like to hopefully be in a place to destroy that city by the end of the second night. But again, you kind of always have to go with what opportunities present themselves in this game, and can't dawdle too much, and you kind of see where it takes you. All right, so we are going to put a orc here to hang out by Volkare's camp, and then we're going to flip these two tiles, and this is going to represent our starting board. So we have pretty crappy tile here, not much going. It's a pretty far distance to that keep out in the northeast, and not much going. I mean, not many opportunities that I would like. I'd rather they keep there. At least maybe I can do something cool in my first turn, but hopefully this tile is better. And all right, it's a little awkward, but I think we can make this one work. All right, so we have a marauding orc, we have a monastery. Anyone who's seen me play this game before has probably know that the monastery is unlikely to last very long, and then the card of chivalry will end up in our unit offer. We can buy this at the monastery for the cost of 6 influence, modified by whatever our reputation is at the time. So there's only one thing left to do, and then I can start playing. I need to draw my hand and then choose a tactic card. So my opening hand is Swiftness, the other Swiftness, Tranquility, Ruthless Coercion. Now Ruthless, again, the expansion was nice in that it the original Mage Knight only had one card that was somewhat unique. It's like a variation on the theme of a card for each hero. So if 3 heroes had this card, the other hero would have that card, but twisted and made a lot better for that particular hero. The expansion made that. They took it from 1 unique card and made it 2 unique cards. So even though Krang's an expansion character, he still follows that general theme. 14 of his cards are going to be identical pretty much to every other hero, excepting again the rifts that each hero has, and then he has 2 cards that are going to be different. So this is a pretty strong recruitment card, and considering I have 2 units in the offer that I can recruit. I can only recruit him at a mage tower. So I have 1 unit in the offer I can recruit in a monastery. Heck, I might get that. I might use this to get chivalry, maybe. So it's Ruthless Coercion. It's influence 2. You can get a discount of 2 towards the cost of recruiting 1 unit. But if you recruit a unit this turn, then it's reputation -1. Influence 6, reputation -1. You may ready 1 or 2 units you control by paying 2 influence per unit. So we'll see how that works out. I'm really not. The herbalists are alright, but not really in love with that card there. And then my last card I pulled up was Rage. So I'm going to look at the day tactics. Again, I will choose one. The nice thing about playing in Volkare's Return or Volkare's Quest is that you do not lose the tactic that is chosen by the other player. In this case, Volkare. In Solo Conquest, it would be a dummy player, or the dummy player. So whatever he takes this turn, I will actually get an opportunity to take in future rounds, but I always choose first. So I want to get great start, and I'm going to roll for Volkare. He gets number 3, which is Mana Steal. There, lighting was a little weird there. And I'll put this off to the side. This is going to go here. I immediately take 2 cards, but since Volkare picked number 3, I definitely got some more movement, which is what I wanted. Since Volkare got number 3, he's going to go first, and well, we can actually leave that right there. Perfect little hole for the turn order markers. All right, let's go. Volkare's first turn of the game is a wound. So when a wound comes off, Volkare does not move. Instead, he's going to look within range 1. No, I'm sorry, he's not even going to do that. It's just a wound. He doesn't do anything except he is going to roll his mana die, which is on top of his Legion. And if it's a blue, it's not, but if it were a blue, this indecisive unit would say, you know what? Screw you, Krang. I'm going to go join up with Mr. Volkare, and then Volkare's army would get 1 token bigger. And no matter what unit it is, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a unit that can be recruited at villages, mage towers, keeps. They do keep it a little simple. That's like the one thing where Mr. Vlada showed a little bit of restraint. He's like, no, we'll just always make it a keep. And I think that's actually, it's nice because, again, it's one less thing to try to consider. So if, in this case, the thugs can be recruited at keeps, so it's thematically makes more sense. But if he were to, at some point, if a wound was drawn and I rolled a blue, the thugs would leave the game. I would not be able to recruit them anymore. And we would have to add a 7th token to Mr. Volkare's little pile over there. But we rolled the red, so we're good, and that wound is going to go right there. My turn. I'm going to trying to think if I can get that chivalry. There's a gold there, which is nice. I think I'm just going to destroy my reputation the first turn in. Oh man, I really wish the units in there were a little bit better. It'd be a good time to get like the monks. Man, don't love it. But alright, I'm gonna draw a card and maybe get some more influence. Improvisation will work. So I'd only need 7. Alright, this will work. Alright, so I'm going to do a move 2 and a move 2 to give me a move 4. So I end up at this monastery. Right? I'm going to recruit. I'm going to take improvisation. I'm going to use it with crystallize. I'm going to power it up with this gold mana. So I now get influence 5, and then I'm going to use ruthless. I get a discount of 2 towards the cost of recruiting 1 unit. So I'm going to discount of 2 toward the cost of recruiting the herbalist, and then I'm going to spend the other 6. Now when you do interaction and you're doing that as your action for the turn, you just figure out how much influence you have, and then you figure out what you want to buy. So you can buy as many units and or skills from if there are skills in the unit offer because of the monasteries, and or healing points that you can afford. So right now I'm just going to use the base ruthless coercion, get a 2 discount toward getting 1 unit, and I'm going to use this 5, so that gives me 7 influence points. It's modified by my reputation, which is 0, so 7 influence points, and I'm going to take both chivalry, which I will add to the top of my deck, and I will recruit the herbalist, which I don't love, but you know, it's a unit, it's the only thing I can get, and I have a feeling my reputation is about to go down real quick, and I don't have many other opportunities to recruit right now, so I'm going to take what I can get and go from there. So I lose 1 reputation because I used ruthless coercion to get those herbalists. All right, I'm going to roll this die. That was my last action. I can only get 1 action. That was my action. I couldn't do anything else even if I wanted to, but I didn't really have the cards to do anything else anyway. I'm going to put these cards to the side, and now I'm going to draw out to my hand limit. My hand limit is 5. And now I have a decent attack card to go maybe burn down the monastery. I don't know. Alright. That block kind of sucks. But I can get up to 6. I can get 8 attack. I'd probably go for it. Alright. I'm going to play Volkare's turn. Volkare is going to flip this over. He picks a blue spell. So, when you're figuring out what to do with spells, it's just treat it as if you had pulled a skill card of the same color. So if I had pulled one blue skill card, I would just move here. But since I pulled a spell, I just do that twice. So again, if you pull a blue, you go straight ahead. From this angle, green would be down, white would be up. So blue is going to go straight ahead 2, and since there is a blue die in the source, we roll this, and it is now a green. Now I'm happy. I'm glad to have pulled if you can get the spells out of the deck early, it's better, and we can explain that as we go if you don't already know why. All right, I'm going to sack. Yeah, burn it down the monastery. I gotta do it. I gotta go for it. Most of the enemies in this bag I'll be okay with. So what do I pull? I pull a Mage Knight. I pull a witch. I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. So she's only 5 to kill. Question is, can I block her? Because if I don't block her, now again, her herbalist, your units will never help you when you're burning down a monastery because you know they have more scruples than you do. What I need to do is I don't want to let that attack go through because it is an attack 5 with poison. So since my armor is only 2, I'd have to take 3 wounds to my hand, and then I'd have to take 1 wound to my discard pile for every wound I took to my hand. So that's 6 wounds. It's more wounds than I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend attack for block 2. I'm going to turn the other 3 cards sideways. And that gives me block 5. Since I block 5, no wounds come in, and now I'm going to use Chivalry. I'm going to power that. I get attack 5. Now if I had only needed the 4 of that 5, I would have been able to get a reputation and a fame for defeating that enemy, which would have helped mitigate some of the crushing things I just did to my reputation. But I really needed every card because I did not want any of those wounds. So she is dead. This witch, wizard, warlock, I don't know. Whatever that thing is dead. I get 4 fame, despite the fact that my reputation went down. Somehow I'm more fame. I guess it's infamy. I don't know. We have a black die in the source, so I have 3 greens and a black. Pretty garbage. And that goes there. End of turn. I've cleaned up my area. Now I need to get my level up because I have hit level 2. So I'm going to look at Krang's top 2 skills on Krang's little pile here. And I have 2 of them, and they're interesting ones. So once a turn, I can get 2 attack. Or if I flip it over, I can get attack 4. And then if I rest, I get to flip it back. So it's a really dynamic skill that gives you a lot more flexibility as far as getting those extra attack. The other one is, it's an influence card. Don't know all of Krang's skills as well as some of the others. Arcane Disguise. Once a turn, I get influence 2, or I may flip this token to ignore all effects from my position on the reputation track. You may flip it back in any turn by paying a green mana. Huh. You know, if I wasn't -2 already, to ignore all effects. You know, it's early. I'm sure I'm going to kill enough orcs. It seems like a mistake to take an influence thing when I have such a strong attack thing, and I might need some help in attack here, especially I got this orc here that I'm going to want to take care of before the end of the round. So as much as I'm tempted by this, the disguise one, because of, you know, the fact that I'm already at -2, I'm going to pass, and I'm going to take the, what do they call this one? They have some fun names for these. There's so much. The Battle Frenzy. So I have my Battle Frenzy skill, which I will put right there. That is the end of my, well, I took my skill. I'm going to take one of Tovak's skills, put this in the skill offer. I'll have this available to me next time. Ooh, I will be taking that next time. That's a strong skill. It's Tovak's motivation skill. And then I'm going to take the explosive bolt, as I said. and we are going to replenish the skill offer and counterattack. Awesome card. All right, so I put this on top of my deck. I am going to draw up to my hand size, which is still 5. Have some interesting cards here. This monastery is burned down. We will no longer get advanced skills from there in the unit offer, but we're good otherwise. So let's go here. We're going to do Volkare's third turn. He pulls a green. He's coming down to say hi, kids. There is a green die in the inventory in the source. Now, sometimes this actually really helps. I have 3 greens and a black, so hopefully this is something more useful. Red is definitely more useful. Thank you very much. I'm wondering if I have enough to try to take that monster den. I only have attack 6. Let's see what other attack cards I have. I could gain a green, which is helpful. Gain a green mana token. Influence cards dumb. I have 2 cards here. Let me go down to this monster den. I'm gonna want to do it this turn or next. So, you know, or I can just do it at the beginning of next round if I need to. So I'm going to play Savage Harvesting, and I'm going to use Herbalist. So I want to, yeah, I'm definitely not going there in this turn. All right, I'm going to use Herbalist to get I'm going to use the die in the source to get a move 4. Each time I move a space this turn, I can discard a card to gain a crystal of the same color. So I'm going to move 4 to go down toward this monster den. So this monster den now, it's like what do I call it, a tomb? Where's a tomb? Nope, the tomb is a dragon. It's a dungeon. I'm going to go toward that dungeon. And when I get there, I'm going to discard this card for this space to get, and I could do this multiple times, but I don't want to get rid of the rest of the cards in my hand right now. So I'm discarding Promise because it's not helping me. And since I discarded that, I gain a crystal of that color to my inventory. And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to get to that dungeon. I'm going to roll this die. It is a white. Oh, I also have this skill. So yeah, I'm definitely going in there. Weird. I just can't block. But I still have that. I have Herbalist and the heal 2. I got a lot of things that could go for me right now. So I'm going to pull out my last 2 cards. So I will be able to stop. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful hand to do what I want to do to end this round strong. So we're going to go on Volkare's turn. Volkare is going to roll his die. Don't be blue, please. It is white. Good. So thugs stay right there. And then my turn. I'm entering the monster den. You can do healing effects whenever. So although this unit will not follow me into the monster den, I'll be able to use healing effect after if I need to. So let me go in there. This is going to be my last turn for the first day. And we got this guy. So I need a block 5. Awesome. I'm going to play mana draw. It gives me, you know what? This will work too. I'm going to play mana draw, which gives me access to 2 dice in the source this turn. I'm going to play this gold die as if it were blue to block 5. Since I blocked 5, that block is stopped. If I didn't block the 5, it would have come in at 10 because this ugly ram minotaur, I think, thing has as the brutal offensive ability. And then I'm going to take the green die. I'm going to power concentration, which is giving me the stronger effect of rage, and that is going to be enough to kill him. No effect on my reputation because it's just a dungeon. Who cares about dungeons? And then I'm going to get 4 fame, which is going to get me to another level up. All right, that's the end of my combat. At any point in my turn, I can play. Oh, that's a combat card. So this could be placed in combat. I'm going to take a wound to my hand. I'm going to gain a white and a red crystal to my inventory with the explosive bolt. And then I am going to use up my herbalist, because it is the end of the round, to heal that wound and put it in back in the wound pile, not in Volkare's deck. I don't know why I was doing that. So I actually never even had to use my skill. So fairly strong round. So right now we are going to do our cleanup. I use both of these dice. They both get rolled then, green and a black. And then we're going to put these in my discard pile. We're going to do my end of round level ups. I am going to get to level 3. Now, the rules in the Lost Legion expansion say every time you do a level up, you add one of the other skills to the skill offer. There is some skepticism whether they meant that or whether you're supposed to do it as you did in the original Mage Knight, where you just did a level up when you got a skill card. I don't take the dummy player's skills enough to really care, but I'm going to put this out and then we'll figure out the ethics of it later. Sorry. So I pulled the competitive skill. The competitive skill has a little discoloration compared to the cooperative skill has a little discoloration because it came from a different set. So I put the competitive skill at the start, and then if I pull the competitive, I just swap it out with the cooperative. Cooperative skills are cool in the sense that you get to play, you can play it on one turn, and then you can get the effect of it on the next turn. So the subsequent turns, you can get 2 really strong effects in a row if the timing works out correctly. So I have leveled up. I now have a new command token. My armor strength is now 3. My card draw is still only 5, my hand limit, but that will be fine. We are going to now go to Volkare's turn. He gets a white. White means he goes up, so now he's chilling on that keep. And now I'm going to call end of round, which means it's the end of the round. Volkare gets no additional turns, and we get to shuffle our deck. So I think we gave him 5 turns that round, which isn't awful. I really want to be in that 5 or 6 mix. 6 is really pushing it though if you do that every round. You know, and depending on how things go, if you can get a 4, that would be amazing. I was thinking about the last game I played. I know I was talking about how it just took me a long time, and I think it was I remember, if anybody who watched it, I had a Arethius skill which allowed me to do a lot of wound management. So I had 3, 4, 5 wounds in my hand almost all game, and I think that was, you know, ultimately what led to me going so slowly, because my deck was 3, 4, 5 more cards deep every round, and I was making good use of them because that Arethius skill, for those who don't know, allows you to turn a wound card sideways and get +2. It still was slowing me up every round in a way that, although I was able to pretty emphatically win there at the end, it did make it a little hairy. Whether my timing was exactly right for, that was a Volkare's Quest scenario. All right, so that card goes away. Again, the monastery is burned down, so we do not add any new skill cards to the monastery or to the unit offer. And we're going to replenish the skill offer with Peaceful Moment, and the spell offer with Snowstorm. Really like Snowstorm, especially against Volkare. The new units we have available to us are the Magic Familiars. I guarantee I'm not taking them. The Utem Guardsmen, the Peasants, or the Illusionist. Underrated, really like them. So, by the way, you know what I didn't do? It was the end of my turn anyway. I never got my reward. I went to the dungeon and killed the monster and did nothing for it. I never got my reward for killing the monster in the dungeon. So, how that works is you're going to roll a mana die. So I'm going to take 1 from the side, and if it is a gold or a black, I am going to get a spell. So I would have access, I forget what was there before, Restoration. And if I roll any of the colors, I get an artifact. I rolled a white, I get an artifact, which I will shuffle into my deck, because again, it was the end of the round anyway, and I was definitely not going to give Volkare 1 more turn with 1 card in my hand. Golden Grail, heal 2, faint +1 for each point of healing provided by this card to spend this turn. Diamond Ring, you have an endless supply of white and black mana. That black mana can really come in handy near the end of the game when you break it. So you get a white mana token and a white crystal, or you can get an endless supply of white and black mana if you break it. I'm a fan of that. And I already have 1 white advanced skill in my deck, and that might actually guide how I think about the rest of this game. So Diamond Ring, as much as I would have liked to have played it last round, I still wouldn't have done that just for 1 mana crystal when I already have 2 and 1 fame. That would not have been worth it. So we're going to shuffle this in. And now, glad I remember that, now we can go to our first night. Oh, one night, it was late. I don't know, when am I publishing this? May? April? I don't know. And I was with Volkare. Putting this on top of the artifacts deck. My singing is great. You guys can buy concert tickets in 2 months. What am I doing? Oh, I'm drawing my 5-card hand. Motivation. March. Tranquility. Rage. And influence. Now, and this guy readies, I really need to kill that guy. And I don't think I have any non-physical attacks, and he is physically resistant, but I really don't feel like taking that garbage damage either, because he's got brutal. So I'll be able to kill him pretty easily. The question is, can I block him as easily as I can kill him? And I'm going to need 5 move just to get there. Sure. I'm going to take preparation. I can take 1 card out of my deck, and I want that card to be 3. Man, I had some better options. 3 white, attack 6. Yep, I'm going to take Chivalry, maybe get my reputation up a wee bit more from where it is. So I need 5 move. Oh man, 5 move. All right, I think this will work. So I'm taking preparation. When I take that, I take 1 card and shuffle, and take 1 card out of my hand, and I shuffle the rest of my deck. And then we are going to roll to randomize what Volkare gets. He gets number 2. Number 2 is still an available tactic. So he is going to be first yet again. So I'm going to take my cards up. We're going to do Volkare's turn. He gets Rejuvenate. So green means he's going to move back toward me. He's about to go off the board, and he's definitely cramping my style in some really annoying ways. Okay, so as you guys have, anyone who's watched my videos before, I mean, a lot of solo playing is just realizing when you make a mistake and figuring how to fix it out and doing it quick. I realized that when I powered I tried to heal a wound on my last round with the Herbalist, but I realized I had, you have to power the healing effect with the green mana, which I would have had no access to green mana, nor would I have had access to a green die from the source. So that's not going to work. And I really liked my starting hand this turn, but I can't think of a fair way to do this, so I'm just going to reshuffle this whole thing with 1 wound in there, and the artifact in there. So I think this is the 4th time I'm reshuffling this, maybe the 3rd, but you know, I embellish. And we're going to now draw a new. I probably will still be taking preparation, but we'll see what I draw. So my new hand, improvisation, which is exactly what I wanted. Swiftness is great. This and tranquility, and then I am going to go in and I'm going to get Chivalry using number 5 of the tactics. And it's just like, you know, it's like nothing ever happened, everyone. So now I have a wound in my deck, and I'll remember that the Herbalists need a green mana to power that healing effect. Yummy. Did I move them already? 1, 2, yeah, I already moved him because I know we only have 5 turns the first round. So now it is my turn to go. I am going, I need to move 5 because it's night. And play Tranquility to draw a card because there's a very specific card. No, that wouldn't help anyway. Do I just dump Tranquility is the question. Yes, I think I do. I need the white mana. Note that because it's night, I don't re-roll. He pulled a green card. I don't re-roll that gold mana because it's night. But if it was day, I would. And also note that I rolled a gold and a black. That is legal because at least 50% of the dice are non-basic or are basic. So if you roll 2 dice that were white, gold, and black in a Solar Conquest game with only 3 dice and dice in the source, you would have to re-roll. So I think what makes sense here. Where's my block? Is I'm going to use my herbalists to get a green mana. I just don't want to take the damage if I can help it. Yeah, I'm going to use the herbalist to get a green mana. And then I'm going to move 4, move 6. So that gets me into this forest. And now I'm going to fight this ironclad, I think he is. I'm going to discard this and this. So improvisation, I'm discarding the rage. I'm going to power that with my red mana here. Or I could even do this better. I won't power it. I'm gonna save that red crystal. I'm gonna have a block 3. That's block 4, and then I'm gonna power chivalry, not chivalry. I'm not shriveling anything. This is not Arkham, and I am not a mystic. I'm a ugly green dude with bones and antlers on my head. And now I'm going to attack 6 or attack 4 plus reputation plus fame. I'm going to do the attack 4 option plus this 2 attack, which I can use again because I'm not using the plus 4, which I had to flip. So that gives me 6 physical attack. He has physical resistance. The 6 physical attack is enough to defeat this guy. Again, so he was blocked. I moved 5, blocked 4, used chivalry, powered it with a white mana. I'm going to get the 6 attack necessary to kill him. Since I killed the marauding orc, I'm going to get +1 reputation. And then I'm going to get +4 fame. It gets me to 12. And since I use chivalry and only use the attack 4, and I get +1 reputation and +1 fame for each enemy defeated by this attack. So I go another fame and another reputation. And, you know, we are almost reputable now. Alright, so that's the end of my turn. I end my turn on a magical glade. If I had any wounds, now I could throw some of them out, but I do not. Come on. So I'm going to put this skill back because it's still available to me. I'm going to re-roll this die. It is red. All of this goes out. This crystal goes here. I managed to save all the crystals in my inventory, which was important, I think. And this is now sideways. End of turn. Rewards, bonuses, there are none, so I can redraw my hand up to 5 again. That's 5. Alright. Do have a wound, but that is fine. We are going to have Volkare's turn. Volkare gets a wound. So when he gets a wound, he doesn't do anything, but he rolls a die. If it is blue, it is not. So he does not recruit anymore to his army. I'm a little boxed in right now. Him standing right there is not great. What I'm going to want, at some point, I'm going to need to dance around him, I think. But we'll see how this plays out. So I'm going to play, so the other special card that I didn't really, I highlighted Coercion the first round. I didn't really highlight Savage Harvesting. This is another special card. It's just it takes the basic green move card of most other players, and it just kind of makes it more unique just for Krang. I can move 2 once this turn. When you move a space, you may discard a card to gain a crystal of the same color. If you discard an artifact, you may choose the color. Or you move 4. Each time you move a space this turn, you may discard a card to gain a crystal of the same color. If you discard an artifact, you may choose the color. So I'm going to be able to discard a card and get blue, I think, is the plan. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. So I think that will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power stamina 4, and I'm going to play Savage Harvesting. So I have move. Nah. I'll play Savage Harvesting move 2 before I power that. And let me put this thing in play. I could also put. Yeah, I can get another row. You gotta. Looking at this card is usually important to remember how far down this can go. This can only go 2 rows. So I could put 2 things in play actually. Move 6. Alright. Let me put a countryside tile here because Volkare is like breathing down my neck and I don't like it. Yeah, I'm gonna put a countryside tile here for move 2. And that lines up like that. We have a marauding orc right in our face, which is bad. Yeah, that was not ideal. And it's a forest, which is also rough. So this, it's a witch. It'd be 1 wound to my hand, 1 wound to my discard pile. I can kill her fairly easily. I might not get that crystal though. Block 3. That's fine. Alright, let me take care of her. I'm just going to attack her because I think it just makes the most sense. Remember, so looks a little weird. So when you put a countryside tile down, you could put it down as long as it's touching a tile that's touching 2 other tiles. Core tiles, you couldn't do that. But also core tiles you couldn't put on the coast. So there's a lot of things that would be wrong about this placement if this was a core tile, but since it's a countryside tile, it's perfectly all right. So this is going to be a little unorthodox, but again, just using my cards as effectively as possible. I'm going to play Determination. So I'm provoking an attack with her. So I'm not going to get the benefit in the Crystal Savage Harvesting, but I really don't want to take 2 more wounds when my wound management isn't great right now. I mean, just notwithstanding the Herbalist. I'm going to do block 2. I'm going to turn Stamina sideways for block 3. And now I'm going to turn Concentration sideways, which is a really strong card just to play sideways. And then I'm going to actually flip this spell upside down to get an attack 5. So I basically turned a bunch of crap into an attack in which I did not, or a bunch of crap relative to what I was looking to do, but into a reputation bonus and 3 fame, which gives me the level up, which is one of the reasons I was happy to do that. So I beat another marauding orc, and then I'm going to get 3 fame, 1, 2, 3, and we get to level up again. This is now exhausted. If I rest, I'll be able to write it back up again. So I cleaned up my play area. End of my turn, I'm going to get 2 more skills that I can look at from my deck. My skill deck. Ooh. They're both cool. But I just have to grab Tovak's Motivation. Excuse me, Tovak's Motivation. This one is I could spend a mana to throw away a wound, so it's cool wound management. And if that mana is red, I also draw a card. And this one is when I kill an enemy, I can put it on this tile. And then, so once a turn I can put an enemy on this tile, once a turn I can take an enemy off this tile, and I could either half an attack coming at me, or I can half an armor of 1 enemy. It's such a mathy little skill. Man, but I just don't know how I don't take that motivation. I mean, this is like one of those really niche things that could come in really handy at the end. When you kill a dragon, and just having the ability to kind of throw it back at an enemy in the future can be really cool. With a Puppet Master, once a turn, either keep 1 enemy token you defeated, or discard 1 previously kept enemy token. If you discard 1, then either get attacks at half the strength of its attack value, or block at half its armor value, all rounded up. Interesting. Nah, we're good. Wound management's tempting, but again, I'm going to lean on the Herbalist a little bit more there. I just don't have that many wounds to really justify doing this right now, so I reluctantly say no to those two. I'm going to take Tovak's motivation skill, and we're going to put another Tovak skill in our little display here. That is -1 armor for each defensive ability the enemy has. And now I will gain an advanced skill card, and I'm going to take counterattack because it is really strong. These go down. I don't have any spells, which is a little upsetting because some of these I would have definitely liked, and I really don't see a good way to get any of them. But we'll see. I pull 4 more cards, and I really want to start moving here. So I'm going to Volkare's turn. I'm going to take 2 more cards and a blue mana. So that is only available for my next turn. Volkare's turn, he gets another wound, so he's going to roll his die again. It is not blue. This dude just staying in my way, like, he's really annoying. If these weren't forest, I'd be tempted to kind of cut down to this village, but that would be 12 movements just to get to the village, and I really don't feel like having to kill my whole hand and just get no fame or anything and just get 12 movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend stamina for move 4. I'm going to use the first 2 of that 4 to put another tile in play. We have ourselves another orc, and we have ourselves a mage tower. So this orc will go face up. He's like one of those elusive assassin jerks. Elusive is when if you block them, then their armor is the lower number up top. If you don't block them, then their armor is the higher number. If you try to do a range or siege attack, you have to do the higher number. And then we have a mage tower that is face down. I'm tempted to go there. It's easier. It's probably going to be easier to defeat at night because it's only 3 movement to get in there. But again, we'd have to contend with Volkare being right next to us. All right, I am going to spend another 2 move, and I'm gonna. So I had 6 move total, 2 to flip that. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Get to that village. I have how many cards left there? I have actually quite a bit of cards left there. And now, since I'm at a village, I'm going to spend. I can get, if I get 3, and the crazy thing is my influence, remember how bad it was, I am actually back at 0. Like not centered 0, but I'm at 0, so I have no extra cost to do this. I have counterattack is just a better version of rage, so I'm going to spend ruthless coercion to get minus, oh man, do I want to power that? Oh, that's even better. So I'm at 0, so if I get 8 influence points, I can actually recruit a unit and get a point of healing. That's an efficient turn. Yeah, we're going to do it. So I'm going to power this with, make that influence 6. The cost of getting 1 unit would be, no, it's not going to be reduced by 2. It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, I'm not, so I have to do it this way. I'm going to play Power Ruthless Coercion, so that's influence 6. I'm going to play those two cards sideways, so that's influence 8. When I spend 3 of those 8 points to heal, 1 point of healing, and then I'm also going to recruit the Utem Guardsman, which you can recruit in a keep or in a village. At the end of my turn, since I used the higher level, now notice I didn't get a discount. You don't get the discount if you use the top level, but it was still worth it because I wanted to get that wound out of my hand. I do lose a reputation, so now I'm back in the -1, which is fine. All these cards go away. Roll is a black mana, and we're going to draw upper hand to 5. So don't even need to pillage that sucker. Man, how many turns does he have this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's only had 3 turns. That's not bad. His turn. We're rolling again. Don't be blue. It is not. I block 4. I mean, I probably can take this guy. I have no movement. That's garbage. Let's do a couple of things. I'm just going to load up on some mana. Oh, my movement is garbage. The good thing is if I'm here, Volkare doesn't have a card that's going to make him go there. He might have a card that makes him go here, but he already had the blue spell. If he gets a green spell, he'd go here. He might have cards that get him here or here, but he's not going to be able, if I get to that mage tower, he's not going to be able to force me into a place where I'd have to retreat from a battle and take some wounds. So the question is, do I just seize that mage tower now? Because I have the Utham Guardsman. I take the reputation there, but I also get a spell into my deck for next turn. Man, I like some of those. Or do I just take a whole bunch of cards? My problem is my movement is so garbage that it would take move 3 just to get in there. But when I'm there, I could have as much as an attack 7, which should be enough to beat most of those guys, but there are a few that wouldn't be enough. All right, I'm going to play it smarter, I think. So I'm going to take a wound. Okay, let me play this. I'm going to play white. I'm going to play Diamond Ring. I gain a white crystal to my inventory, and a white mana token, and I get Fame 1. Cool. Now I'm going to play Crystallize. I'm going to play this blue mana. I'm going to gain a blue crystal to my inventory. And then I'm going to, it's probably not worth taking a wound just for 1 red crystal. I'm going to, if I go there, he does have a spell card that could actually end up on me. If I start on this village, I can pillage and get 2 cards early next turn. It's just not how I was hoping this to end. So yeah, it's definitely not worth taking a wound just for 1 red crystal. I can't take any more whites. I'm loaded up. So, you know, it is what it is. So I'm just going to turn these 2 cards sideways and get another terrain on the board. So move 2, did some special stuff, and we have a keep and a ruins. The ruins is going to come down face down, but it will be revealed during the day, and the keep is definitely also coming. Nope, that's a monster. Not even close to our ruins. Where's my ruins? Ruins, where are you? Oh, staring me in the face. Oh, did I just have I just had accidentally said, oh, I know I did. Cleaning up last game, I must have put some monsters in here. Still all random. Wow, I had a lot of monsters last game. Alright, cool. These monsters will go in the monster bag. And we're going to draw a ruins. This goes face down. And keeps. So notice I'm burning a lot of cards for less than stellar outcomes, but it's just like, again, you gotta take what you can when you can. And clearly I'm more and more committed now to going up and around. It's just where Volkare is, it just made the most sense for me to kind of go this way. And that's it. So I'm going to discard any card I want. I'm going to get rid of that card because it's pointless to hold on to that 1 card. I roll that. Is that. These are all in my discard pile. Volkare gets 1 more turn. It is a green spell. No kidding. So he goes 1, 2. Hello, Volkare. So I definitely am going to have some decisions next turn, because if he gets a white, probably going to want to go first. There's a lot of stuff going on in my head right now. All right, so end of round. Volkare, you scary. I mean, so what happens when Volkare goes to a space where you're standing? What it forces is you either need to retreat or attend. If you attend, then you flip your token upside down, and then your next turn you just flip it right back up. But if you retreat, depending on the day or night it is, what number, first, second, or third, then you have some decisions to make as far as if you do retreat, you take some wounds. And again, as you can see, I'm really trying to limit wounds this game. Maybe I'm just I took so many last game that I put on here that I'm like, all right, no more wounds. It's just a different style of play and a different approach I'm taking in this game. We are now going into our second day. I need to draw my initial 5 cards. I'm going to ready the herbalists. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Since I am next to this Mage Tower, that is going to show itself for its true colors. Ooh, that is a nasty attack, and that is a nasty guy. So he's doing a 5 ice attack, so we need 10 to block, unless I had fire block, which I don't. I love that. Ruins, so this is settled. I am going to that keep. I'm going to try to kill the keep, and then I'm going to try to get... Oh, the units kind of suck. This is such a cool ruins. It's just like you kind of free a prisoner and you end up with a unit. But it's much better to do later in the game when you have some elites out there. So maybe that's not happening. I don't know. So confused. All right. Maybe I'll go into that monster den and get me some. Problem is, unless. The only thing that would really suck if I rolled yellows, or yeah, yellows. There are no yellows. Well, there's golds, but if I rolled whites, because I'm already maxed out there. But what I'm gonna do is pillage the village. Wait, I gotta pull my tactic first. I definitely want to go first. I don't think I can't really think about it. I'm going first because I can't risk him going first, pulling a blue and attacking me, and then this whole round is jacked up. He rolls a 6, but the right moment is still there. So I'm going first. I'm pillaging the village. I'm going to get 2 more cards because the village wasn't happy. Eesh. All right. I'm going to get some maximum... Yeah, we're going to get some maximum movement out of improvisation, so that is going to be the boosted effect of improvisation. I'm going to use the influence card underneath it because I'm not going to be using promise anytime soon. So that's move 5. I'm going to move 3 as I get next to this because there's 3 to get into the hills. As I get next to this garrison is going to be revealed. It is an Utum Guardsman. Not sure if I want to be chasing keeps right now, so you know it's interesting, but we'll move on. And then I'm going to spend these ready. I'm going to spend move 2, so that gives me a total of move 7. I'm going to use rage sideways for move 8. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to get another tile on the board. Let's see what I'm dealing with. All right, we have another ruins. Still not a core tile. This ruins is going to go face up because it's day. We got swamps right in front of us. So that's 2 orcs for 1 crystal of each color. We have another village here, maybe some more pillage opportunities. And then we have an orc right in front of us. So it is an orc summoner. A little crazy, but I'm going to go into that den because I have the crystals I have. So I'm going to pull a monster, which is now a much heavier bag because I had about 6 of the monster tokens in the ruins bag accidentally. So we're doing monster this jerk. Cool. I am going to use my Utum Guardsman for the sole reason that this is a lion thing, dude, flying, whatever. And it has an attack of 4 with swiftness. So it would be 8 to block it. But Utum Guardsman counts twice against an attack with swiftness, so block 4 is now block 8, which is exactly what I need. They actually changed the wording on these things in the expansion. I forget what it used to say, but the there's a technical reason why I did it, and it made kind of nerf some things in a way that was more balanced. So now I just need an attack 6. I'm going to boost Chivalry with an attack 4. This gives me an attack 6. So that dude is dead. I still have the swiftness and a rage in my hand, which is ridiculous. So this goes away. This guy is very dead. He had fire resistance, but not physical resistance. So it doesn't have any effect on fame because he was chilling in a monster den. No one cares. No one heard about it. I get my 5 fame, which goes 17 to 22. I also get another fame because I use chivalry, and I only use 4 attacks. So I get +1 reputation and +1 fame. So the chivalry cards are being really useful in. Why do I have 2 of those? I can't have 2 of those. I'm going to put a white from my inventory because I'm going to get more crystals now. So, yeah, sorry about that. That goes there. This is re-rolled. These all go away and clean up. Now, my reward, I get to roll a mana die twice, and I'm going to get a crystal of the color that I roll. I rolled a red. If you roll black, you get +1 fame. If you roll gold, you can choose the color, and I'm going to get a blue. So I have a very patriotic setup here with 2 blues, 2 whites, and 2 reds. Patriotic for, it's a very American-centric statement there, so I apologize for anyone not from here that's watching this video. I am going to now draw up to, man, if I leveled up, if I had 1 more fame, I would be able to be drawing up to 6, but right now I'm just drawing up to 5. So 1, 2, and 3. Diamond ring. Man, I'm like, oh, he's just 1 range attack shy of where I want to be. I don't really want to deal with this Orc Summoner crap either. Move 4, gain white. Alright. Oh, so I conquered this, so this gets a shield. And now I got very far away from Volkare. His first turn, he would have gone at me in the village had I stayed there, so I'm glad I moved. And then I will roll a blue die in the source if there were any, but there are not. Man, this movement. Garbage. I'm going to exhaust motivation, draw 2 cards, and get a blue mana. That will be a little helpful, I think. Yeah, I don't have any green mana, unfortunately. So I'm going to play this blue mana to play Crystallize, get a green mana in my inventory because it can always come in handy later. I'm going to now spend, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play the blue mana on stamina for move 4. This is move 6, move 7, 8. So I'm going to move here for 2, for this 5. So I have 3 move left. As I move 1 space, I'm going to discard Crystallize to gain a card of the same color as what I just threw up. So I threw out a blue card, I get a blue crystal. I'm going to exhaust the Herbalist to ready a level 1 or 2 unit. So I'm re-readying my Udam Guardsman, and now I'm going to attack. Oh, with my 8 move, so I have 2 more move, I'm going to put another countryside tile here, which will allow me to put a core tile right here, which is perfect. Or hopefully it'll be perfect. We'll see where Dingle Nuts over here moves. Dingle Nuts is what his friends call him, I promise. We're going to go to I got to put a keep here. So I used 7 of my 8 move points. Got all the country side tiles out, so the only core tiles left. And we're putting a mage tower here. So 5, 8. So we're attacking the Orc Summoner. He's going to summon a monster, hence why he's a summoner. And the monster is only going to be used for the attack the enemy attack, because I don't have enough range attack to kill him. Unfortunately, I'm not doing very well in range attack, which is could a potential issue. But hopefully we can rectify that. But he's going to attack with another one of these. Really? It's another one of those. All right, so we're going to deja vu. We're going to use the Utem Guardsman to block that. And since he was blocked, I can play counterattack for 2+2 for each enemy blocked this turn, which there was 1, so it's an attack of 4. And then I still have that little token. So I've killed... Nope, I lied. Never mind. I blocked him. It's an Orc Summoner, so after this guy's blocked, he just goes away. I don't defeat him. Then I can use counterattack. I don't even need the skill at all to kill the Orc Summoner. I get 1 reputation for killing the Orc Summoner because it's a marauding orc, and I get 4 fame based on the value at the bottom here, so that gives me up to 27. And that is my turn. I'm going to play this too. I got to start burning some cards. I'm going to play that, get a white crystal and a white mana. I can't keep the white mana because I have no use for it, and my inventory is full. But since I played the diamond ring, I get another fame. Alright, so I clean up my area. We're going to do my level up. This goes here. Since I did a level up, we get another one of Tovak's skills. It is turn a wound, discard a wound, and draw a card. A really good card. Tovak's skills are pretty awesome right now. Since my level up, my hand limit is now 6, so I'm going to draw 5 cards. And I haven't killed that yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm really tempted to... I have no range or siege attack, and that could be a problem. Like, seriously, none. Or at least non-physical. Maybe I could piece together some, but not enough. Not as much as I want to go against Volkare. The question is, can I actually go and wipe this dude out? I am going to pillage this other village now because, you know, it's a village and it needs to be pillaged. And it rhymes. And that's all she wrote. Or do I want to just do that? Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Alright, so we're going to... Volkare is going to get a red card. Now, I think this is his first red card. It is. Now, red cards, as long as the city is not visible, all that happens in this situation is Volkare is going to look around him, see if there's anyone there. So if I was still here, he would attack me, and that would suck. But since I'm not there, again, he doesn't do anything. If there was a red die in the source, he would roll it. And now we're good. My turn. I'm going to play Tranquility, which is going to allow me to draw this last card. It's interesting. So I got a lot of very interesting options. Do I want another Utem Guardsman? Not really. No, I don't. I don't. Green. All right, I'm going to play mana draw. I'm going to use the white. It tells me to take another mana die from the source, turn it to any color I want, and I got 2 mana as a result. So I'm going to get 2 greens. I'm now going to use 1 green to power March. And then I need 2 more move. Yeah, this will do. I'm going to play Swiftness to get my, just for the base move. I'm going to keep this mana crystal on the side, but I will have access to it later. So I'm going to move my 6 into this monster den. Units will not come with the monster dens, and night rules apply. I am going to draw another monster and try to get another artifact, or worst case, I will get one of those spells. Alright, now we got Medusa. So I have to block that 6, otherwise I'm going to be paralyzed. And no one wants to be paralyzed. It's not good. I'm going to block that 6, I'm going to spend 1 of the blue crystals from my inventory for block 5, and I'm going to turn Ruthless sideways for block 6. And now I just need an attack 4. I mean, Great. I'm going to use concentration to give me the higher level of. So I'm powering the other green mana I have for mana draw. I'm going to use that to power concentration to give me the boosted level of rage +2. So I have an attack 6. So this, where did she go? She's very dead, wherever the heck she is. She's hiding. She knows it's coming. All right, there she goes. I just put rage on top of her. It's a metaphor. There's no reputation difference because she doesn't. She was again in a monster den. And now I get the 5 fame. So the 5 fame is going to get me up to 33. So we're doing fairly well on that track. And this was just taken. It wasn't rolled or used. So it doesn't get re-rolled. This goes here. This goes here. And I mean, I had this. I had a lot of ways to kill her. I'm feeling a lot stronger than I probably should for Krang, in my experience. But we are going to roll the die. Says my reward, I get a spell. Don't hate it. I'm going to get Snowstorm because I'm going to stay away from Call to Arms because I've played it too many times on this channel. And by too many times, I mean 2. Ooh, Underground Travel is interesting. This is my hand. Volkare is going to get 1 more turn. He gets another red. He looks around, no one to attack, no red dice to roll. I declare end of round. So again, I don't use Explosive Bolt, but it's not worth taking a wound for just that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Really been keeping his turns way down. So it's kind of a different strategy for me than what I'm used to, but it's been good. You kind of ended up on a very weird path here. But with him kind of breathing down my neck, some things opened up. So kind of happy to kind of be where I'm at, more than I would have expected, considering I haven't seized a keep. I haven't tacked any fortified sites, so that's been been really helping keep my my reputation not super awful, despite the fact that I burned down a monastery. Those monks had it coming. Oh. That's all right. If I really had thought about it, I should have spent 2 movement points to put a core tile in play, and that way we'd have some elite units here. But we're good. We're good. I will deal with that in the 3rd day and night to try to get an elite unit. So we got a couple of monks, which would be great if they were out early, because I could have gotten them in that monastery. But instead, I got these herbalists. We haven't added to Volkare's army at all, which is nice. That doesn't get shuffled. This comes here. This comes here. Down. And we are 2 fame away from another level up. So we'll be able to get another one of these cards. We are going into the 2nd night, so this does need to be made new. We get 2 whites, a blue, and a red. We like all the colors but green. We hate you, green. And now we draw our hand. I'm on a mage tower. I have defeated this. Not a mage, a dungeon. I have defeated this. And now I draw just to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. And nope. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, we're gonna take Sparing Power. I mean, there's an argument to leave it for the 3rd night, but I'm so ahead of the game right now. Like, I'm not. We might not be getting to a 3rd night, and if we do, we'll deal with it then. All right. I'd rather make sure I get a really solid use of it. Make sure I crush this city now on the 2nd night. So he's definitely going first. I mean, I'll roll. We'll say he picks from the dust. Good job. You go first. So his turn. He's gonna pull a wound. Means we roll his die. It is not blue, it is red. So again, the indecisive units are still, they're resisting that inner pull to the dark side, which is great. I know, I just conflated all sorts of metaphors. You can deal with it. We are going to garbage. Why is my movement so bad? I'm gonna play March for first sparing power. So the beginning of my turn, this happens, and then I'm gonna play March. So I'm gonna put the non-city core tile on the board. Oh, that's not a really fun tile. I can't put the city here. So, and as soon as Volkare sees the city, he's gonna be beelining for it, and this is the end of the world for him. So we have a refugee camp. We have a Draconum, which, depending on what it is, might be fun to kill. Probably not. It's that jerk. Yeah, no thanks. I mean, you have to block him, but you have to have a fire block. You have to have fire block 8, or you'd have to have regular block 16. And if you don't, then you need 14 to kill him. Like, the nice thing about this dragon, he only does 4 damage. So that's usually at the point you see him, like 2 wounds tops. But it's just a card suck to try to have to kill him. When he's part of Volkare's army, he makes it really tough. Alright. So that was 1. I mean, just my lack of movement right now is so gross. When can I play that? I think I have to play it on somebody else's turn. Toolback's motivation skill. Once around at any player's turn, so I could play it on mine. I'm just gonna burn a rage siege ice attack. If I had siege fire attack, I could actually because siege attack he would only need fire attack 14. Yeah, the dude is brutal. Brutal. I'm going to turn these 2 sideways, and I just gotta get myself moving in the right direction here. So I'm gonna go here, put the city there, and then get ready for all that jazz. So I just used 2 rages sideways, which is a little bananas. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna draw up to 6. On Volkare's turn, I'm gonna flip this. I'm going to draw 2 more because I just want to get all the movement I can. Not as much as I would hope, but it's something. So a lot of my movement's buried in the bottom of my deck, which isn't great. Volkare's turn. He rolls with another wound. It is gold. It is not blue. So we're managing to fend off the defensive units again. Sparing power. I mean, I can beat 2 orcs there, but what the heck's the point? It's night again, so of course this is going to cost me 5 moves just to get through there. I'm going to use the 5, the blue mana I just got because of Tovrak's motivation skill. That gives me a move 5. I'm going to use 1 swiftness, which gives me a move. I'm sorry, move 4. That's move 5, 6. I'm going to play Tranquility, draw another card, hope for a movement card or not, and then. It probably doesn't make much sense to reveal the city right now. There's a lot of red cards still in this deck, and I'm going to delay a little bit to try to time this slightly better. What I am going to do is I'm going to power crystallize with this blue mana from the source and take a green because I don't have any greens yet. And then I'm going to... I'm tempted just to kill these 2 suckers. No, I'm going to save all these attacks. I mean, the Fame boost isn't worth it. I have really strong attacks. I'm going to save them for when I see the city, which will probably be in a couple of turns. So, but if I see a dragon there, like, I just think it makes sense to show some restraint. I'm going to roll this die. That is white. So I have 3 whites and a red. These all come down and into my discard. So that was my second turn. I draw up to 6, which is just 1 card. Diamond Ring, man, I tell you what. Why do you keep coming out at the weirdest times? Okay. Volkare's turn. It's a wound. He just is not moving. So I am kind of hesitant to move myself. Ish. My move is garbage. My move is garbage. It's all right there. So sparing power. This goes here. I'm going to spend Diamond Ring just for the sake of getting a card out of my hand, and I can't use any of the mana here, but I'll take the one Fame. And kind of disappointing artifact this game, and then I'm going to draw this one card, which is an influence card, because that's clearly what I was hoping for. His turn. All right. I'm happy to at least get that card. So if we had revealed the city, he would use that card to move the most direct way toward the city, but we kept revealing stupid wound cards. But now the city's not revealed. He just treats it as a normal red card. It looks there's no one around to attack him or for him to attack, and I re-roll, and it comes back to a red. My turn, and I just have no movement. I mean, this is really bad. I just want movement. So it's my fourth turn this round. I still have sparing power. All right, I'm gonna flip this over, take these cards. There's a movement card, sort of. Jeez, it's gross. I don't need that green for anything else, so I'm going to take the green from my inventory. Or, what's the point of view? I'm going to reuse Herbalist to get a green mana. I'm going to take that green mana to power concentration to give me the stronger effect of improvisation, which means I need to discard a card to get it. So I have move 7, which no matter what I get will be enough for me to get somewhere. So happy to have improvisation in my hand. I'm going to use 2 of those 7 to, again, improvisation is powered by concentration. I'm going to use 2 of that 7 to put the last tile in play. It is the Green City. It's going to be a level 6 because we are playing, I think, what is Heroic, whatever the second level is. We have a village there, which is nice. I like to see that village because it will give me some options if I have some time to wait for Volkare. We have 2 orcs. This first orc's going to go here. It is a wolf rider or whatever the hell we call him. And it is the ugly dude with the elusive. Now, the Green City is the special power there is every enemy there has poison. Nothing's double poison, so they're already poisoned. That's fine. But they do have poison. Level 6 gives us 2 keep garrisons, 1 monster, and 1 city garrison. So definitely nothing this needs that here. Not that that's such a weird phrase, but it's fun to say. So this garrison will stay face down until we are next to it, and then we will see what these individual tokens are. And here's our city garrison. One of those tokens, I thought there might have been a Romans in there for a second. All right, I'm pretty sure there's not. I'll check after the game. We now have our Green City with its garrison and waiting for us. And we have 5 more movements. I'm glad I played that move 7 because now I can move right onto that swamp, which would be all my movement points. So it's going to be hard to even move into that thing this turn. And we are going to reveal the garrison because even though it's night, the cities are different because, you know, there's so many lamps and lanterns and stuff that this whole thing is now lit up. And we can see exactly what we are dealing with. So we got heroes and thugs, which is funny. I guess they're friends for today. Another ugly dude with the nose ring, and then we have, I think, the Hotep Gunners or whatever. Now the problem is where we're standing is that we're gonna have to deal with these orcs, or otherwise they're gonna come and join the fun. And honestly, no one wants to deal with orcs because they're not that fun. So no one likes an orc. Jeez. And if I kill one and have another one join me, I'm not going to be that upset about it. Let me at least kill this guy, I guess. That siege dice attack is gross because they both have ice resistance, because of course they do. Of course they do. Don't want to waste any of my blocks. Alright, let's burn my range attack. now. So I'm going to attack this jerk. He's a jerk. Everyone says he's a jerk. And then we're going to do a ranged attack 6. So I'm going to use this white. Nope. I'm going to use this red, this white. It's range attack 6. It would, so I know there's a 3 there, but because he's elusive, since we didn't block him, we have to do the 6. So I don't care how elusive he was not elusive enough to get away from my explosive bolt and my swiftness. So he is dead. I get a reputation and I get 3 fame, which we get a level up, which is fun. This goes here. This will be rolled. It is now green. These go on my discard. These go on my discard. All right. We are now going to do our level up. So I'm going to reveal 2 more skills. Nope, those aren't my skills. Those are my skills. Taunt. Nope, not taunt. What is that? That's... I can choose one enemy. And I think that's that enemy to curse. Either reduce one attack of an enemy by 1 or reduce armor of an enemy by 1, minimum of 1. You cannot use a skill on a fortified enemy in the ranged and skill in the siege attack phase, but we can use it in the non-range or siege. This could be helpful. I think it's going to be more helpful. I'll just stick with Krang skills. I already took one of Tovak's. And I like Chilling Stare a lot. So I'm going to take this. This goes here, got some decent attack cards, and then I'm going to grab Chilling Stare. And that gets replaced by Regeneration. I now draw up to 6. Oh, and another Tovak skill is going to go into place. Whatever that is. Alright, so I get 2 more cards. My block isn't great, so counterattack's not going to be that strong. Block 1, 2. Alright. Tovak's, or Volkare's turn. He gets a blue. Now it doesn't matter. Normally, again, blue goes this way, but as soon as the city's revealed, he's just like, I want to go to the city. So he's gonna move. He talks just like that too. He's gonna move that way. My ranged siege attack is garbage. Ranged ice attack is. Do I want to get the black? Probably not. Maybe. All right, let's do it. It's on. We're gonna do move 2 again. No matter. Oh, man, I just want to kill that guy first. So what do I want to do? I probably just want to kill this orc, right? Like, I don't have a ton of block cards. The problem is, nah. We'll let him join the fun. Who cares? That's fine. I'm going to move 2. We're going to go in here. Since I'm attacking in there, this jerk's going to join the fun, and let's move all these tokens out of the way for the sake of clearing up the battle space. Alright, Volkare is going to be in the middle of everything, but that's fine. That's what he does. Alright. So, yeah, we're not really leaving that city ever, so all these tokens are just gone. Wipe the board. We're going to bring these tokens down. This marauding orc was provoked because we went from this space to an adjacent space, so now he becomes part of the garrison. We do not have to defeat him to defeat the city, I believe. Alright, so this marauding guy joined us, but because he's not like fortified, he's not behind the wall, so to speak. So he joins the fight, but we conquer the city even if we don't defeat him. But if we defeat him, obviously we get the fame. And that's fine. So he's not fortified like the rest of them, but he does join. It's like one of those weird situations. Normally I would just try to kill him, but Volkare's Return is kind of a special situation. Everyone's fortified. I'm going to block the thugs, so I don't have to worry about him. I'm probably just going to take this wound. Again, I can only take 6 wounds in my hand or I get knocked out, so let's kind of play this out. This guy would be doing brutal, so that would actually be 4 wounds. And these are all poison, so we'll do the math with the poison later. The heroes would give me 2 attacks of 1 each, and then this guy would give me 4 and 4. So both of them would be giving me a hefty amount of wounds. Ice attack. Seriously, no more ice attack. No more ranged attack. Cannot use against fortified enemies in the siege attack phase, because of course I cannot. I'm going to play. Mana draw gets me black token. Alright, I'm going to play mana draw. I'm going to take a die from the mana source and set it to any color except for gold. I'm going to set it to black. That gives me 2 black manas, and I just want that for the 1, obviously, because I only have 1 ability to use it, but I will take them. I'm going to take a wound, so this does count, but it's not an attack from an enemy, so there's no poison. And I'm going to, this goes in my hand, so that does count toward the limit of wounds I can take this turn. And I'm going to charge this, so it is a siege ice attack 8. That is enough to defeat this ugly dude with the brutal. But unfortunately, with his armor, there's no one with armor 3, so I'm going to be wasting 3 of those attack, but it saved me 4 wounds in my hand and 4 wounds in my discard. Dead. Alright, now I'm going to power Chilling Stare with a white. Which is fine. So our chosen enemy does not attack, so this guy doesn't attack. If he had arcane immunity, that effect would not work, but alas, he does not. So now I'm down just to these 3 wounds. I've only blocked 1 guy. I blocked the thugs. I do not have any more ability to block. So I can get an attack 7 though. Attack 8, that'll work. So I'm going to now take these 3 wounds. They all have brutal or poison. 2, 3. So the poison will go in here, and I've taken 4 wounds to my hand this turn, which is fine. I'm going to now do a few things. I have counterattack. I've only blocked 1 enemy, so I get attack 4 plus an additional 3 for every enemy blocked. The fact that this 1 enemy didn't attack at all doesn't count as a block. So I actually have an attack 7. I have this to make this an attack 11, and I can reduce 1 enemy's armor by 1 with this. So that gives me an attack 11. They have an attack of 14 combined. I can go 12. So I'm literally 1 shy of defeating all of them. But we're good. Good, we got this. And actually, so I have attack 7. I can just do an attack 9, keep that up for whatever reason. Use this, reduce 1 of the armors of 1 of those guys, because I can do this. And oh, this guy's alive too. My bad. Shoot, I can't kill them all. That's so gross. That's gross. Oh, by the way, so I've sieged a sieged fortified city, so this goes down. I can't kill them all. So I am only going to do the 2. So this is 7, 9, and then this reduces 1 of their armor. So these 2 are dead with that 9 and the armor reduction. This guy wasn't defeated. He's going to go back there. This guy will live, he goes there. Since I killed a hero, I lose another reputation because no one likes when you kill a hero. And then you come back here. And all you have left is this stupid orc and those thugs holding down the fort, because that's what thugs do. I'm going to get the fame. These two go here. I get those effects again. They are not one-time use. And again, I did not use the full effect of that. All these mana go away. This die was not rolled. It was just taken. Or not used, I should say. It was used, but it was just taken. It wasn't chosen from the source in a way that requires it to be rolled. And then all these cards are going to go into my cleanup, into my discard pile. I'm going to take these 3 enemies, and I have a total fame gain of 16. So 16 fame gets me up to 53, which means I level up again. When I level up, I can add another one of Volkare's skills, or Tovak's skills. Not Volkare's skills, that's a whole other different thing. That's a cool card, and I get to do this. So I have command tokens everywhere. Ugh. And it's gross. We are now going to do, we're going to draw up to our hand limit. I should, for the sake of completeness, I need to add a shield token for each one of those guys. So, minor point of clarification. So yeah, if I had defeated this orc, I wouldn't have gotten the shield for defeating him, like I get for defeating the actual garrison, but I would have gotten the normal +1 reputation for defeating a marauding enemy. Oh, and I have to go back to the location where I was, so I go back there. I am going to draw up to my hand limit, which is still 6, which is gross. Man, I'm not doing amazingly well, but it could be worse. Oh, bad spell. Volkare moves twice. We roll the white die. My turn. And he would actually gone that way. Because he goes direct route, and then you would want to go as close to, since white is the one that goes up, he would want to go as close to that way. No, he'd go this way because that's actually, yeah, that makes more sense for his normal direction. My turn. Really don't want to deal with that enemy again. So I'm going to play Harvesting for 4 and play Ruthless sideways for 1. And I'm going to move to this location, and then I'll be able to seize that city real quick next turn. Yowza. Oh, wait. No, I don't want to do that. I want to get this done. I want to get this done. And you know what? Since that orc is not a defending unit, I don't actually, the poison thing doesn't actually apply to him. So I only took 2 poison last turn. So it was 4 to my hand, but only 2 to my discard pile. Because 1 to my hand was from one of my own spells. I think I need to get this done this turn. I don't see a way that makes sense to not. So I'm going to use this move 2 to move into here, and that provokes this jerk, which is fine. I'm actually going to discard Ruthless Coercion when I go in to get the red mana because of the Savage Harvesting rules, or the red crystal to get the Savage Harvesting rules. I'm not blocking anybody. I obviously have no cards to block anybody. Oh, shoot. Then I'm going to have so many wounds in my hand. And this game is going to be over. Problem is, if I take 3 wounds in my hand, then I'm going to only have wounds. And if I have nothing but wounds, it's going to take 2 turns before I can declare end of round. I don't want to do that. I'm back here. This orc is back here. Let me go. I'm just gonna rest, and I'm gonna get these 4 wounds and this card out of my hand. I'm gonna draw my last 2. Awesome. Volkare gets a wound. We're gonna roll the die. It's not a blue. Indecisive units for the win still. And then we're gonna go in. We're gonna provoke this jerk. We're assaulting a city, so we lose a reputation. What can I block? None of these are physically resistant. I just need an attack of. Alright, that's fine. So I'm going to spend garbage. I'm going to spend. Yeah, you notice I haven't been assigning damage to my units because when you assign a wound to a unit and the attack is poison, you have to put 2 wounds on there, and that's going to be really hard to get off. So I'd rather. I only have 7 wounds in here, I think, which isn't that bad. I think I'll be able to deal with that pretty quickly. So I'm going to spend block 5 to block the thugs. I'm not gonna block the marauding orc, which is just 1 wound again because he doesn't have poison because he's not part of the defenders of the city. Now I'm going to attack with the chivalry, which is 3. I'm going to exhaust this skill for the better part, which that's 7, and then I'm going to reduce the armor of one of those guys by 8. So it's 3, 7, 8. That does kill both of them. I already lost a reputation for going into attacking a fortified site. I gain a reputation for killing a thugs, and I gain a reputation for beating the marauding orcs, because 8 is enough to defeat both of these dudes. Now I use the lesser effect, and I needed all 3, so I don't get any reputation or fame from that, but I do get 5 fame for these 2 guys, which gets me up to 58. Now I need to regroup real quick to get through the rest of this. I'm going to put another token on there for the last defender from the city, and now my hand size is 2 higher than it was. Alright, Volkare's turn. He's going to again beeline for the city. He goes there, and I declare end of round, and I have 2 turns to get my crap together. Alright, these all go away. I can now recruit city units, so maybe we'll get lucky with the elites. Oh, Alta mages are back. Sorcerers, I am not there. Depending on timing, one idea I could have here is I could try to go to that village if I end up with a ton of movement and just pillage the crap out of it. We're now in the 3rd night. And we roll 2 greens, a blue, and a red. This Blood Rage card goes away, everything goes down, and we get agility. This goes away, everything goes down, plus we get chill. I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to draw up to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I have to reset all my skills. Remember, my attack is. Have you seen all of his spells? 2. I used to have 1 more spell, which is rough. My attack is not great. Alright. 8. 8, 8, 8, 8. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna take planning because I think it makes sense. We're gonna roll this. It's a 5. 5 is not available. It's a 3. 3 is available. So now Volkare is going to go first.
And we're going to go and hope it's not the spell. It is not. He's going to go right next to the city. So us going to that village is not happening. It's fine. My influence is -1, but I get 1 influence for each of the shields on there. I have nothing else that gives me influence. But I have a move card I don't need. Oh, Chilling Stare gives influence, but it also prevents an enemy attack. Now notice, Volkare is sitting right next to me, but I still don't reveal his garrison until an attack starts. I could get my Alta Mages. The only card I can recruit in the city. 9. So I have influence 9. Is there something else I want to get rid of? Chilling Stare is really strong, but preventing an enemy from blocking and getting an enemy that has 5 fire resistance and cold resistance and the ability to do a cold fire block is like almost the same thing. For real. So what I'm gonna do is use Ruthless Coercion for 6. I'm going to heal 1 because I can. I'm going to use Chilling Stare for influence 3. So that's influence 9, and I get the other 3. So I have 4 shields -1. So it's a total of 13 influence -1 because of reputation. I'm going to get the Alta Mages. Reputation -1 because of the Ruthless Coercion usage, but that was totally worth it. And now I get the redraw back up to 8 plus because of 6 plus 2 because I control I'm the leader of the city, plus 1 because of planning. So I got 9 cards in my hand, and you know, if it's a bunch of wounds, then hopefully he won't attack me next turn, and I'll be able to use my herbalist to get rid of some of them. So that's 6 cards, that's 7 cards, that is a wound, and that is a wound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. It's on, kids. Here we go. I am attending. So since I'm attending this battle, I flip my turn thing over. I'm also going to flip this to get 2 cards and a blue mana. Alright, we are now going to reveal his garrison. So we never added an indecisive unit, which is rather fortuitous. And this battle is going to be against a Orc Summoner, those Rugrats, a Golem who's physical resistant, a Fire Dragon, a Fortified other fire. This guy's physically resistant. These 2 are physically resistant, which is, again, one of the first things I'm looking at. And then we have a Catapult who have Cumbersome. So rough. Let's see what we can do. Now, if I reduce the Cumbersome down to 0, it is considered blocked. The problem is he's coming in at an attack 9. It'd be 18 to block. Any movement I spend would, you know, just be some movement I spend. None of these dudes are fortified except for these 2, because it's not like they're next to the city. So it's almost like the battle is happening outside the city. It's almost like the battle is happening outside the city, so I'm trying to prevent him from damaging the city walls, so to speak. Nobody has swiftness, which is good. That Orc Summoner worries me for sure. This attack 4 is not everything I hoped it would be. I can get a range attack 5, which isn't gonna do all that much. Alright, the more I can block, the better, because it's a counterattack, but I don't think I'm going to be able to block that many. Although it doesn't matter. As long as I just block anything. I could block an orc and then get +3 on the attack on the other end, right? So the other person that's attacking is that we cannot forget is this jerk. He rolls a green, which has poison, and it is brutal and all that goodness. So if he attacks, that's going to be coming in at an 8, so that would be 2 and 2. That would have to go to me. This is coming in at a 9, so that would be 3. This is coming in at a 12 because it's brutal, so that would be 3. This is coming in at a 9. So that'd be 3. This is coming in at 1. That'd be 1. This is a 2. I mean, this is coming at 2 1s, and this is coming in at a total unknown. And part of this battle is to minimize unknowns as much as you can, right? So obviously we can't take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 wounds in our hand. We would be knocked out before half of that came in. So the question is, can we block enough and kill enough people by ranged and siege attacks to do what we need? It's not night, so the idea of making this all siege attacks is not happening. And I think the most ranged attack I can muster would be 8 physical, which frankly is a little bit underwhelming, but I think it makes some sense. For each enemy defeated by this attack, another enemy gets -1 armor. So I guess there's that. So let's lump these attacks together. I'm going to play concentration. I'm going to increase this to a ranged attack 5, and then we're going to add swiftness for a ranged attack total of 8. It is a physical attack. That is going to be enough to kill these 2 guys. And then 2 other enemies. For each attack, each enemy defeated by this attack, another enemy gets armor -1. Can I lump those? So another enemy, just I had to clarify something with explosive bolt. So another enemy, so this can stack. Since I defeated 2 enemies with the explosive bolt attack, another enemy could have -2 armor, which hopefully will be somewhat helpful. I have yet to block anything. Both of these cards are. So I want to power that. All right, I can turn both of these cards sideways. To block this guy. So that's 1 guy blocked. So this wound goes away. So now I'm still looking at some serious freaking wounds. I can power this. I'm going to spend the move 4 because he has cumbersome to reduce that attack to a 5. And then because the ultimate is physical resistance, he's just going to absorb that without taking any additional damage, which is fine, which just means I can't assign damage to him from anybody else, which I'm cool with. So since that's now out, these 2 wounds are no longer a concern. Now I have the 7 wounds going to my hand, and these go in my discard pile. Wounds that go to your discard pile that don't go to your hand don't matter. These 3 wounds I had before the turn started. So it just kind of worked out that way. I'm going to can I get enough block to block 1 more measly enemy? I don't think I can. But that attack, so I blocked 1 enemy. The attack 7 to be enough to kill this guy. These are all inefficient blocks. I get a cold fire attack from him. Alright, we're making some headway. It's not everything I hoped it would be, but I do have to figure out how to at least survive the rest of this. So I'm going to be definitely using this red and a blue to give me a cold fire attack from the ultimate mages in the attack phase, which is awesome. And then I have one more red, which I'm going to use to power counter attack. So I'm just kind of lining up my attacks. Then I'll have an attack 2, and then I'll have these 2 things as well. All right. So the question is how I just get there. Ultimately, this comes in at a 9. I can assign 1 wound to my Utum Guardsman. I didn't even use him, I know, but hopefully I can heal him with the Herbalist. Since 6 times 1 wound, the 9 is reduced by 5, which is the amount of the Utum Guardsman's armor. I have 4 left, so I actually would only take 1 wound to my hand. So that gives me 6. It gives me 6 wounds that would go to my hand, which is still a problem. This is going. If I reduce his attack to a 5. Alright, I can use this to reduce this guy's attack to a 5. His attack of a 5 comes in brutal. It's now a 10. As a 10, I can assign 2 of it to the Herbalists. Even better. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to spend the Herbalist early to get a green mana token. Sorry, to get a green mana token, which allows me to use the blue, and then I still have this mana token. No, never mind. Which allows me to, that's a mana, so I have to use, I'm going to actually use this green to use this, and I get to keep that green in my crystal supply. Alright, so I reduce that attack to a 5. I mean, right now it's all about not getting knocked out. Because I had 3 wounds in my hand. I can only take 6 this turn. These 3 wounds were from this guy. So if I reduce his attack to a 5, it doubles because it's not blocked. It comes in at a 10. Since it comes in at a 10, I can assign 2 to my Herbalist, which leaves 8, which gives 2 wounds to my hand. Instead of the 3 if it came in at a 12. And so that skill is used up, and then I take these 5 wounds to my hand. That's all I've added to my hand this turn. Obviously I have too many wounds, but it is what it is. These go into my discard pile. Now I'm going to it's gonna be iffy. Now I'm going to attack. So we'll take all these guys back. I've already killed 2. I killed the 2 orcs, and I have just the 4 biggies. I'm going to do a cold fire attack 9, right? And that was either or. Yeah, that's either or. I'm doing a cold fire attack 9. The cold fire attack 9 is, if I made it a 7. I can save this red. I'm going to make it a cold fire attack 7, and I'm going to kill that guy because that's only going to be a physical attack. Now I have a regular attack of 7, 11, and I can make it 15, and that's a regular physical attack, and that's going to be enough to kill both of these guys because they only have armor of a 14. So I have this one dumb little golem left. I've only used the ultimate mage. I have not used my other, well, and I used the herbalist to get that green mana. I have not used my ultimate guardsman, but they are very exhausted, which is rough. All right. But that is my entire turn. This guy's the only guy who survives. This physical attack combined killed both of these guys. Oh, wait. I also get the -2 attack because of the explosive bolt. Does that change anything? If I made this a cold fire attack of a 9, and I made his armor only a 3. Oh, man. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. And this attack is... Oh, wait. Make sure I'm doing this math. 7. I might need that somewhere else. Because this math is 7 plus the 2, not 4. Well, I have this red here if I need it. So 7 plus 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. If I added 2 more, that gives me 16. If I reduced... Oh, he's got physical resistance, so I can't lump him in. So yeah, we're going to do the cold fire attack to kill the fire dragon. We're going to use the physical attack of a 7, 8, 9... 10, 11, 8, 9, 13. I am going to have to use the red. 14, 15. That kills these two. And unfortunately, I'm just that -2 armor. I could use a -2 armor for those guys, so I can actually save that red mana after all. Because the -2 armor from the explosive bolt attack. So it's actually, I only need 12 to beat these two. And I have 7 plus 2 is 9, plus this being exhausted. Or do I want to keep this? I'll keep this just in case, and I'll use the red mana because I don't know if I'm going to need the red mana in the future. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8 wounds in my hand, which could be a problemo. Alright, so let us... we destroyed 5 of his garrison. The only one to survive is this stupid golem. We're going to take 5 shields and put it around... we'll just put it next to his deck to keep track of how many of his garrison we have killed. Right? The Alta Mages are not wounded. Oh, that actually changes things. Let me think about this one more time. What I did was I couldn't assign a wound to him because I used him to absorb damage from somebody else. It comes full circle, guys. It's got a reason on that. So that's 2, 10, 17, 21, 29 fame. I'm going to clean up my entire player. I got this. I did not use that flipped because I didn't need to, because the -2 from the explosive bolt allowed me to save the stronger effect of that. And we'll see what I can do. So let me cut this again. So that's 16, 20, 22, 29, 9, 13, 21, 29. So no, you cut it. It's 29. I think I said 27 before. 16, 20. It's definitely 29. So I'm going to clean up my whole play area. These cards. This rolls. It's blue. These cards. These cards. I'm going to get my 29 fame. And I have 8 freaking ones. 29 plus 58 plus 29 is... Well, let me do the whole effects first. So he attacked me. Since I did damage to at least one of his enemies, so it's number of players. Since I did I killed at least as many enemies as the number of players, he actually backs 1 away from the city. And that is the end of the battle. It's the end of my turn. And I'm going to get the 29 fame, so 58 plus the 29 is 67, 87, so I level up twice. So my first level up is I am going to take a skill. First, this moves over. I now have 7 cards in my hand. I control a city, so I can draw up to 9. I can actually draw a card. That's magical. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to take Tovak's skill that allows me to discard, I think it's once a turn I can discard a wound and draw a card. I get so excited I'm throwing things around. Yes, except during combat. Discard 1 wound, draw 1 card. So that comes here, and I will get the bottom card. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I have a healing card there, but it's not going to help because I'm probably just resting next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got a new skill. I drew a card. Then I'm going to, and I leveled up the second time already, so I'm actually going to take 2 of Tovak's skills and put them here and here. All right. We are gonna go to, since that was Volkare's turn and I attended. When I attended, I flipped my thing over. So now it's my turn, but since my thing's turned over, all I do is flip it back. Now Volkare moved back because he lost an army, at least one member of his legion, so now he's going to turn a card. It's blue, and now he comes. So you see how that works, in that by defeating at least somebody in his army, I backed him up, which bought me a turn to get my crap together. All right, so it's my turn. On my turn, actually I was supposed to draw, so I had 7 plus 2 because I'm still leader of that city, so I have 9. On my turn, I am resting and putting all of these cards in my discard pile, which is great. And now I draw a new hand of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No healing, but really, who needs it? Because I still never used the Utham Guardsmen this round, and I had to use them as a wound, meat shield, then use them for their attack effect, but that is fine. So now it's Volkare's turn. It is a wound. He does nothing. We roll the die. It is not blue. There's no indecisive unit there anyway, because those are the ultimate mages, and I kept them. My turn. I am going to use this skill to discard a wound and draw a card. It's another wound. And now I am going to rest. You can use your skills on the turns that you rest. I'm going to rest and discard 1 non-wound and 1 wound. And then I draw back up to 3, to 9. Oh, and since I had 2 cards in my hand, I actually should have drawn 10. So basically all the cards should be in my hand. This would have been useful. All right, Volkare's turn. He gets a red. Super interesting. So when a player, when Volkare draws a spell and he's next to the city, you got to be really careful, because what happens is he attacks with the first move. Then if you successfully combat and beat one of his things, he would back up, and then the second move would happen. The other problem with spells is that if you're not ready to face him, normally you have a turn where you could say, fine, I'm not going to attend, just flip the city card over. But the problem is if you do it then, he's going to come in, seize the walls, knock all the walls down, and then he's going to come in again and win. So spells can really crush you at the end of a game. But clearly, I am ready for this. I am attending. This is the first movement of his spell. I'm rolling that die. He gets the green again. Ultimately, he's going to give me 1 wound. I'm not blocking anything. He's going to give me 1 wound. These are all from before. 1 wound, 2 and 2 in my discard pile. That's fine. None of that hurts me. And I am going to now do a it was a block. I could have blocked it too, but I mean, really, it just didn't matter. I'm going to play Chivalry for an attack 6. I just need an attack 10. Well, that should have gone there. I can discard these 2. This to use a proposition for attack 9, and Determination attack 10. I got a spell, I got an artifact. I mean, I got a lot of strong cards I just never used, and that is it. That was cool. That was really cool. It's hard to kind of piecemeal together a battle like that. I really to not take some of the cards I passed up. Banner of Command is usually like an auto go. There's like a card on here, Disease, which can reduce everybody's armor to 1. There's a card, Tremor, that can reduce everyone's armor. But really to kind of just pick our way through that. On the higher level of this scenario, I mean, I've definitely had times where like the whole battle with Volkare has taken, an entire a night, a day, and then the better part of the last night. And when you get on level 12 Volkare, it's like 9-10 tokens, and it's bananas. But just being able to really do what we did, we got lucky that the indecisive unit never rolled. Otherwise, even that 1 extra keep could have been really hard. Now granted, hopefully it would have been something we could have used a block 4 against, but you just never know. But because we never burned up the Utham Guardsmen, and then actually that if we had blocked him, we would have had another attack 3 from the the what's the name of that card? It's the one that gives you +3 block, +3 attack for every enemy blocked. Man, there's so many wounds in my deck. The counter attack. Having planning, you saw that power. It was just like we had 8 wounds in our hand, and we still weren't at our hand limit because of planning. Because it was 8 wounds. No, not because of planning. We had 8 wounds in our hand. We weren't at our hand limit because we owned the city, and we got all the way up to that that 9th level. And then planning just gets us to draw another card. There's just a lot of things that really came together, and you see how those little things make a difference, through this scenario. It's definitely, I think they call it like the ultimate challenge in this, and it is, Solo Conquest is more my go-to, but this scenario, there's like a timing element. There's just a few things that really kind of make this just like a bit more exciting for some reason for me, where you just kind of see this giant thing with this giant flaming orange sword coming at you, and you're just wondering if you could be ready when he gets there. But yeah, just to kind of review again, I pushed everything off so we had a better, it was easier to kind of see on the video, the final battles. But ultimately we came here, went to this monastery, burned that thing down, went here, defeated an enemy here, came here, started to get our reputation back. I think we pillaged this, did this monster den, came up here, killed this orc, went to this what is this, another not a monster den, a dungeon, killed that, came to these ruins, didn't go in the ruins because it just wasn't worth it, came around, had to kill an orc that was there, went in here, this stupid orc got provoked a couple times, we did some rule clarifications, seized that city on our second try because the thugs kind of held off, and then managed to have a couple of turns to get ready for that battle, counterattack. Getting the exact amount of influence we needed to get those Alta Mages turned out to be huge. Had to burn a strong card. I mean, that dual color card that allows an enemy not to attack is strong, but you saw the power of Alta Mages in, again, absorbing an attack and then being able to defeat an enemy that had physical resistance. And since my units were really lacking on elemental attacks, it was such an important pickup for me. There could have been some other, units that really could have helped, potentially not as much as Ultimate Mages, to be honest. I mean, the biggest effect, when you get Ultimate Mages, I mean, you really want to do that. When you make everything a siege attack, at night when you power that with black mana, that is such a cool moment. But ultimately, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Other like the Hotep Gunners could have worked. I mean, anything that had a ranged elemental attack. I mean, well, we needed ice attack, obviously. The Hotep Freezers could have worked. Anything that could have done a decent attack and absorbed, one blow could have really done the trick. But having that 13 influence we needed, because our reputation was -1, was really huge. The Guardians, that extra block could have been really interesting, or giving all of our other units resistances could have been interesting, but it just kind of came together. So yeah, we beat Volkare. He still technically has 1 movement left, but he's dead because his legion has all been reduced to nothing. I'm glad to get another game of this on this channel, and I hope everyone enjoys it. Any questions, comments, epiphanies, as always, please put them below. I learned so much from the comments on these videos sometimes, and I really appreciate it. In the meantime, hope everyone is being well, be safe, and hopefully I'm filming this at the time of Corona. Hopefully by the time this publishes, the world is back to a bigger sense of normalcy. But if not, hopefully this video is just helping a little bit in some weird way that probably can't even be described. So but that's it. It's my pleasure to be here. Hope everyone appreciates it as much as I appreciate being able to do this and share this on this platform. But I will be back next week. Till then, happy gaming. Thanks again.